An ability to do good things for others. An ability to do good for society and to develop an empire or a nation. A powerful character or figure who holds numerous amount of power in the name of his or her empire. Can bring out a change in the entire society if they want. They can change the world around him with his own leadership qualities. In the era of ages, there have been uncountable powerful characters in world history, who have done such thing that compels us to imagine how powerful they were. But only some out of them can be categorized as the most powerful character throughout our history. Characters that most of us won't forget, characters which will always be mentioned in every age. Today on this episode of the Top 10 show we are counting down our picks of the top 10 most powerful character throughout the history. Coming up. Number 10, Akbar the Great, Abul Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, popularly known as Akbar the Great. Akbar was the third emperor of the Mughal Empire. He was a highly intelligent and brave emperor, as well as popular among other ruling emperors back in the time. Akbar reigned from 1556 to 1605, his empire includes nearly all of the Indian subcontinent. At the early stage, Akbar had been a very violent ruler. But gradually he started to focus on the positive aspects of life. His power and influence however extended over the entire country because of Mughal military, political, cultural, and economic dominance. Number 9, King Qin Shi Huang. Shi Huang was a very visionary king with a dream of unifying the whole of China by conquering rest of the 6 states. Back when China was divided into 7 different states. Later he succeeded in his vision and ruled over the whole Chinese empire named Qin Dynasty. He conquered 5.68 million square miles of land, which was 9.87% of land area of the world by the time. Qin Shi Huang was very intelligent and brave king. By the age of only 22, Qin Shi Huang took over the full control of Qin, and started defeating the 6 rival states of China. Number 8, Ashoka the Great. Ashoka, sometimes Ashoka the Great, was an Indian emperor of the Maurya dynasty. He ruled almost all of the Indian subcontinent from 268 to 232 BCE. Ashoka was the third ruler of the Indian Mauryan Empire, the largest ever in the Indian subcontinent and one of the world's largest empires at its time. Although Ashoka was a very smart and extremely brave king, at the beginning of his ruling period Ashoka was very violent and short-tempered. But suddenly after returning from a brutal war named Kalina War, everything just changed for him. He converted to Buddhism and started spreading words of peace. He started making people understand to live and let live. Number 7, King Tamerlane. Tamerlane was a Turco-Mongol conqueror in the 14th century. His real name is Timur bin Tara Gaybarlas. He is the founder of the Timurid Empire in Persia and Central Asia. He became the first ruler in the Timur dynasty. He was considered as one of the greatest nomadic rulers as he led his military all over the Asian continent. He was also considered one of the most dangerous and powerful character back in his time. Number 6, Ramesses the Great. Ramesses II was also known as Ramesses the Great. He is often regarded as the greatest, most celebrated, and most powerful pharaoh of the New Kingdom. His successors and later Egyptians called him the Great Ancestor. He was the third ruler of the 19th dynasty and ruled for an amazing 67 years, the second longest reign of the ancient Egyptian pharaohs. He was mostly known for his constructions. He built many beautiful temples in his period. He is also famous for his exploits during the Battle of Kadesh. Number 5, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar was a Roman politician and military general. A historian who played a critical role in the events that led to the demise of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire. The statesman and general Julius Caesar expanded the Roman Republic through a series of battles across Europe before declaring himself dictator for life. He died famously on the steps of the Senate at the hands of political rivals. Julius Caesar is often remembered as one of the greatest military and political minds in history and credited with laying the foundation for the Roman Empire. Number 4, Cyrus the Great. Cyrus II of Persia, commonly known as Cyrus the Great and also called Cyrus the Elder by the Greeks. Cyrus was the founder of the Achaemenid Empire, the first Persian empire. Under his rule, the empire embraced all the previous civilized states of the ancient Near East, expanded vastly and eventually conquered most of Western Asia and much of Central Asia. Cyrus the Great created the largest empire the world had yet seen back in the time. Number 3, Queen Victoria. Alexandrina Victoria was Queen of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland from June 20, 1837 until her death. Also, she was the matriarch of the British Empire. Victoria presided over the social and industrial transformation of Britain, as well as the expansion of the whole British Empire. The British Empire is the biggest empire of the world we have ever seen until now. The British Empire covered 13.71 million square miles of land, which is more than 23.84% of the Earth's landmass. On May 1, 1876, she adopted the additional title of Empress of India. Number 2, Alexander the Great. Alexander III of Macedon, commonly known as Alexander the Great, was a king of the ancient Greek kingdom of Macedon and a member of the Argead dynasty. Conqueror and King of Macedonia, Alexander the Great single-handedly changed the nature of the ancient world in little more than a decade. During his leadership, from 336 to 323 BC, he united the Greek city-states and led the Corinthian League, conquering the mighty Persian Empire and others and thus creating one of the largest empires ever at its time. He was king of all Greek nations, Shah of Persia, Pharaoh of Egypt and ruler of many more lands. Number 1, Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was the founder and first great Khan of the Mongol Empire. Mongol Empire is the largest contiguous empire in history. He came to power by uniting many of the nomadic tribes of Northeast Asia. As a person, Genghis Khan was extremely smart and possessed excellent judgment and leadership abilities. And with this excellent abilities gradually Genghis Khan conquered 9.27 million square miles of a landmass, which is 16.11% of world's land area. His conquering power and leadership abilities later made him a very dominant and powerful ruler of history. We have almost reached the end of today's episode, but before we finish, here are some honorable mentions. Charles V. Charles V was the ruler of both the Holy Roman Empire from 1519 and the Spanish Empire from 1516, as well as of the lands of former Duchy of Burgundy from 1506. He stepped down from these and other positions by a series of abdications between 1554 and 1556. Sultan Sulayman. Sultan Sulayman was commonly known as Sulayman the Magnificent in the West and Kanuni Sultan Sulayman in his realm. Sulayman was the 10th and longest reigning sultan of the Ottoman Empire from 1520 until his death in 1566. Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon Bonaparte was a French statesman and military leader who rose to prominence during the French Revolution and led several successful campaigns during the French Revolutionary Wars. He was Emperor of the French from 1804 until 1814 and again briefly in 1815 during the 100 Days. Peter the Great. Peter Alexeyevich, commonly known as Peter the Great, ruled the Tsardom of Russia and later the Russian Empire from May 7, 1682 until his death in 1725. He is best known for his extensive reforms in an attempt to establish Russia as a great nation. George Washington. George Washington was an American political leader, military general, statesman, Freemason and founding father who served as the first President of the United States. He commanded Patriot forces in the new nation's vital American Revolutionary War and led them to victory over the British. There is no doubt to say that tons of powerful people in the history we might have missed out to mention, or maybe the one you like isn't in the list. But we tried our best to pick the most powerful ones, combining many aspects. You should keep eye on our channel for upcoming videos like Top 10 Most Influential Leaders in History or the Most Powerful Politicians in the World, and a few more videos like that. The favorite one you are looking for might be on that list, so these were our today's pick about the most powerful character throughout history. Do you agree with our list? If it's a yes, then don't forget to give us a like. Also, let us know by the comment which character should have been on this list. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our daily amazing content.